Good morning, Big Bang. How we doing today? Woo, woo. All right, it's our first official day. Welcome, welcome. I hope you guys are well fed and are ready to kick off the day. My name is Robbie Ahmed. I'm an alumni of BPL from 2012. I was also the recipient of the Alumni Action Award in 2015, which was my first Big Bang. So I'm here at my third, and I'm really excited to be here with you all. So today I'll be sharing a piece with you all, and it encompasses the work that I do with Love, Light, and Poetry. I'm an educator, poet, and performer from New York City. And woo, woo. NY's in the house. Where we at? NY? Woo! All right, cool, cool. Imagine our liberation. Imagine our freedom. Imagine our self-care. Imagine our self-truths. Imagine our minds free and able to let go. It is time that we let go so we can let God, Allah, let Him rain His blessings upon us and only let love take hold of us. Imagine our blessings counted every minute of the day. Imagine all of this into reality. Picture the devil admitting he's a liar. Picture the angels reassuring us of our magic. Depict us sitting all up in our chairs to feel the royalty given to us by our ancestors, to feel this divine gravity. Naturally, what they believe never belonged to you. Picture a sign that says, if you do not have the best intentions for us, you must exit the premises. There is a premise stating that you are toxic waste to our ecosystem, a predator to our prey, so we pray for guidance away from beings and systems like yours. You are a weapon of mass destruction, here destructing our communities, so we must implement a non-proliferation treaty to destabilize you. You are even releases of carbon dioxide that emit in the air. People like you are the true cause of global warming. Well, this poem right here is a warning. You are not welcome. Your pesticide-like ways poses threats to our crops, breeding defects in our communities and our societies. You are lethal, you are harmful, you are toxic. Praise this revelation. Picture our freedom. Depict our forgiveness. Imagine our liberation and feel the power of this libation. We as a community rebuke your negativity in the name of the universe. We detest any means of unloving us, and may we receive more light and more love to shower all over us. Ashe. Thank you.
I'm not gonna use that mic. That's a lot of fire over there, dog. Hey, can we get a new mic? I need a new mic. I can't use that no more. You feel me? Robbie, thank you so much. Many blessings, you feel me? Good morning. There we go. I'm in the South. I know calling response is a thing out here. Y'all go to church and things like that. So I'm trying to, adapt to a little bit of the culture, you feel me? Good morning. I'm Armando Tibercio Ortiz, and I am gonna be your MC for this little thing that we got going on for the next few days. I am Big Picture alumni of 2013, Hotline. Thank you. I, along with Robbie, am also an Alumni Action Award recipient. Got it last year. So those of y'all who got the opportunity to see me say some things last year, you're not done with me. I am back. I hope you're ready, because I'm starting my comedy career tomorrow. So. But yeah, welcome to Big Bang 2018, everybody. New BPL people, what's good? What's poppin'? Welcome to the family. Yeah, all the new people, give them a round of applause. To all the old heads, y'all been here, so what's good? What's happening? I like that you're here. I first want to acknowledge the land that we are on. We are on indigenous Chickasha and Musk Cree land. It's really important for us to understand where we're at, specifically in Atlanta, because this is was the birthplace of one of the most horrible genocides in our nation that we don't talk about as often, the Trail of Tears. And yeah, I understand there's a lot of really good birthplaces that had happened here, but we also have to understand the context in which indigenous people are otherized within spaces. And as an indigenous person, it was really hard for me to be like, yeah, I'm gonna go to Atlanta, but like my ancestors, you know what I'm saying, my relatives, you know what I'm saying, were physically pushed out, murdered by a colonized mindset because we didn't fit somebody's mold. And I think that's why some of us, a lot of us here within Big Picture Learning are so invested in the student center of it because we don't fit that mold either. Our students don't fit that mold. So I just wanted, to acknowledge that before we continue on. So yeah, I'm gonna be your MC. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do things. People are gonna come up here, say great things, way better than what I'm doing right now. So let's not waste any more time. So first, I'm gonna introduce two people for our showcase. We're gonna have a showcase every morning. I'm gonna be up here doing jokes, and then introducing people who are gonna do even more important things. So first, I'm gonna introduce Carla Vigil, who is one of the most progressive educators within the Rhode Island community, as well as a part of the Deeper Learning Equity Fellows, and is also a parent of a Big Picture Learning graduate. So obviously, that's gonna be great. And then she's gonna be followed by Marcus Harden, who is the co-founder of ACE Academy, Seattle-based nonprofit organization that helps young men of color obviously succeed through the Big Picture Learning model. So please give it up for Carla and Marcus, everybody.
Wow. So when I was asked to speak on this panel, I thought it was a panel, so I wasn't aware that it was in front of everybody. So this is a big surprise, and I didn't wear my heels. I wish I did, because I would have been a little bit taller. But thank you, everybody, for having me here. My name is Carla Vigil, and my son, Talik Tillman, attended the Met School in Providence, Rhode Island. So if you're from Providence, if you're from Rhode Island, go ahead, clap. These are my three boys. They are the future. Talik went to a very traditional elementary and middle school. He did traditional things, right? He was a good student. He got A's. He followed the rules. He was able to memorize things. He tested well, and he was just a teacher pleaser. And this was in 8th grade. And if anybody knows me and knows the work that I do and knows my personality, this was kind of like a problem for me. He followed the rules. I am not a rule follower. I am a rule breaker, and I am a nonconformist. So I'm looking at my child like, oh my goodness, what am I gonna do? I knew he was great. I knew he would succeed if he went to the traditional school. So I intentionally started to think about, where is he going to go? What kind of learning environment do I want for him? He wanted to go to an independent school. That was an option. And I wanted to explore different options with him, but I knew what he needed. And I knew that he needed to be in an environment where it would be diverse. I knew that he needed to be in an environment that would really nurture his passions, that would really help him to think critically. So I suggested the Met. He was like, no way, no, I'm not going to the Met. Only students with problems go there. None of my friends are going there. It's very non-traditional, and he fought me and fought me and fought me. And the problem was that his father thought the same thing, so he fought me as well. And so now not only did I have my son saying no, his dad was saying no as well. And I talked to him and I said, give it a year. After a year, if you don't want to go there, you go wherever you want, but give it a chance. And so he agreed. And I also, during that time, the Met staff had been really supportive. So I had told the admissions person and his advisor to be the issue, and so they were very supportive, and they knew what was coming. So he went to the Met, and with the support of his advisor, Dave Cass, who I don't think is here, but he's great, and other staff members at the school, he was really able to not only reach his potential, but go beyond. And that's exactly what I wanted. I knew that Talik had the potential to be that good student, but I wanted him to go beyond. He wanted to do theater, he wanted to act, and so if he had gone to a regular school, that's not something that they would be able to provide, right? If he needed to go to New York for the summer, it would not count towards his learning, and I wanted him to do that. So what's interesting is that Talik, through his passion, was able to explore theater, but also learn a little bit more about education and the education system. So through theater, he was able to develop curriculum and lesson plans and actually implement them in the Providence public schools. And what he learned was pretty valuable. He learned that there are many inequities that exist in your traditional schools. He learned that the curriculum most of the time and the content is not relevant to the students. That teachers, most of the times in many traditional schools, don't respect students' identities. And so that created who he is today. He became an activist, he became a social change agent, he became a leader. He started to think about the system that he existed in. He started to think about his own educational journey and how his identity in elementary school and middle school was not empowered, that he was just following to fit that mold, right? And so I knew that we had to break that. And so he realized that maybe his junior year that he hadn't received that. And so he became who he is today. And he marched down to DC for protest against gun violence. He was chosen as a United States Senate youth member and went down to the White House and met all the officials, including the president. He also started and co-founded a nonprofit called Diversity Talks, which leads professional developments for teachers on anti-bias training. And many other things that I cannot even keep up. I usually text his advisor like, hey, can you tell me what he's doing now? Because I sometimes don't even know. Let me look at my notes. So I say that because the work that I do now as an educator and as a leader really is aligned with what I wanted for my son. And to me, the Met School, Big Picture Learning Schools, you all know what you're doing, and you're doing it right. And so a lot of times I'm out in the community trying to solve problems of inequities. And I always say, go observe the Met School. Do it. When I take teachers, and I've taken some to the school, I don't have to say, oh, you know, this is culturally responsive teaching. This is equity happening right now. It's just happening authentically because the students are at the center. So they're being respected, they're being acknowledged, and they're being empowered. And so as I was just telling Dennis this morning, as I'm in these other spaces where we're trying to solve the problems and trying to really focus on all these buzzwords, it doesn't happen here because you don't have to, because you all know how to just do it authentically. And so my son went to a school that provided that for him. And it created a human being that I'm very proud of. So thank you for listening to my story today, and I'll be around, so check in with me if you want to.
I did wear my heels. So, gotta raise that up a little. No offense, I'm not sneak dissing, Carlo. I'm sorry. Good morning, everyone. My name is Marcus Harden. That is that's a version of me with a little less hair, but it's an awesome version. I'm here to speak about my experience over the last year as being a member of the cohort of School Foundry in Seattle, Washington, led by Jeff Petty of Big Picture. Wow, Jeff got it. I couldn't even get a cheap pop for Jeff. Let's give Jeff an applause. I've had the privilege of being one of 4 fellows who has begun the mission of, as Donique Dolly said before he knew it, but probably be a thing with us, becoming a wild principal. And so we were tasked with the idea of trying to come up with innovative schools that not only were innovative for the sake of innovation for students, but also disruptive to the system. And so when Jeff approached me, it was a dream come true, honestly. I was thinking about what to say this morning, and I'm horrible scripted, so I was like, man, just say the real. So when Jeff approached me, I was a principal intern at an alternative school in Seattle, and I've always had a dream. My passion, I feel like my purpose, the thing that I'm called to do, is to work with young men, specifically African-American young men and young men of color who have been underserved and undervalued and underprivileged in the educational system that we have today. And so my vision was to create a school that would serve them. And so we have worked in the creation of ACE Academy. So ACE Academy, which is really redundant, but it's the Academy for Creating Excellence Academy, which I got to figure that out here soon. It just worked at the time. But myself and 2 good friends, we've, over the last 5 years, started a nonprofit organization. As of this summer, we've raised over nearly $1 million as a nonprofit to serve I know, none of that goes to me. I still was calling Linda like, hey, I need some help getting the Big Bang. But all of that goes towards serving young men in need, particularly ages 12 to, all ages really, but 12 to 21, but particularly who have been underserved by the educational community. So we are currently running in 4 school districts in Seattle, 3 after-school programs, and literally as I speak, have a summer school program going that is a pilot for what we want ACE to be. And so when I came to Jeff, I was like, I really have this great design. I want to do more. And along with my fellow members, we set out to do that. Over this last year, it has been incredible for me. I had this great idea. I was like, I want young men to experience what it means to be a black man in America. I want them to learn about themselves, identity, leadership, and I want them to have hands-on experiences. And I'm writing all this down. I was like, oh, this is going to be awesome. People are going to talk about me for years to come because this idea is so great. Nobody's ever thought of this. And Jeff was like, there's this thing that I kind of work for called Big Picture. You should come to the leadership conference. And I went to Big Picture, and it was incredible. It was for the first time, this is my 15th year in education, and for the first time, I was like, this is my tribe. These are people who get it, who think like me. And for a long time, I was like, forget it, I'm just gonna push carts at Costco because I was tired of banging my head against the wall in the traditional educational system, knowing what was best for our students. More importantly, I got the opportunity to challenge, to travel around the country and see different schools, and I hate to parrot what everybody else has said, but Big Picture is different. When I've traveled the country and seen other schools, the thing that's broken my heart is everywhere I go, at the bottom of that totem pole, I see young men that look like me. They're usually standing in the hallway. They're usually disengaged. And I have to believe that either in the traditional system, we have to believe that inherently young black men are flawed, or the system itself is broken. And as a black man, since I do have flaws, but not like completely like just throw away the baby flaws, I have to believe it's the system. And so that's where ACE has come from. And it's been inspiring to be a part of this. Even this morning, I was on the struggle bus getting dressed because I'm having to deprogram myself because I was like, I got to dress up. And I came downstairs and I was like, oh, yes, everyone else is in T-shirts. This is Big Picture. I love it. More importantly, as we move forward, I have a couple goals and a couple thank yous, honestly, because what Big Picture has also shown me is people like Donique and people like Carlos, because much like our students, we aim, we believe that you can't see what you can't be. And seeing gentlemen like that, for me, inspires me to want to do more, because I'm like, this is an organization that not just talks it, but walks it. And then we have wonderful allies like Jeff. I sat in a session with Dennis, and I was like, I've never seen somebody who's founded something that can cuss like this. This is awesome. and just be free. Yes, and F you too, Dennis. And so, and that's the first time I've said that with great admiration, I promise you. And people like Dana, and people behind the scenes like Mr. and Linda, who I've met, who I think I always give a shout out to the people who work hard, and Dana, who helped do this conference. I love people who are doing the work who don't get seen. But it's inspired me to be a part of something. And so my goal is quite simple. I will be relocating to Atlanta in 2 weeks, leaving Seattle behind to leave the nonprofit arm to my good buddies, but to make ACE a reality. And they say you're 65% more likely to achieve a goal if you have an accountability partner and you state it publicly. So I'm gonna do 2 goal settings right now. One is for ACE Academy to be the first big picture school in Atlanta, Georgia. Yep. I said it in front of a room full of people in Atlanta. And then 2 is to finally get a 6-pack. Now I know for certain the first one's gonna happen. The second one, depends on the buffets they continue to serve here at the banquet. But no, I'm super empowered and super humbled to be a part of an organization. And like I said, I believe have finally found a tribe and a family to belong to, and again to serve, to not just change the narrative. I think this is a cliched term. I don't want to change the narrative anymore. I want to make a YouTube video. I want to paint outside the box. I want to make an audio book. I want to do everything it can when it comes to African American young men in this country and every other marginalized and underserved population that we have to change that. And I believe Big Picture is a part of that, and I'm glad to join that family. All right, have a good conference, everyone. Thank you.
Carla, Marcus, gracias por todo. Gracias. That was great. Give him another round of applause, y'all. I'm currently in a master's program, and I sit there and we talk about these theories, like critical race theory from a white teacher, and I'm just like, man, I'd be sitting there but I digress, because I understand exactly where they're coming from. I understand why we're talking about it, but it's not how you talk, it's how you work and how you act. You don't got to talk about it, you got to be about it, right? It's all about practicing what you preach. And so I feel like, again, with Big Picture, we're going to keep saying it. We're different, but we can't be different. We got to be change agents and things like that. So also, quick reminder, anybody got Instagram, Twitter, ChatSnap, Facebook, LinkedIn, social media platforms? Anybody? Yes? No? All right, cool. A little bit of it. Cool. Everybody else, we got to download the apps. Use the hashtag TheBang2018. So hey, I was really finna get down. I was waiting for them to, for real. So you'll see your little things, on the side when we eat and things like that. Also, knowing the video team would love for y'all to record as much as you can. We're gonna soon get a Google Drive so we can just dump all that and put it into another promotional video so we can obviously see y'all beautiful faces, but make sure we get everybody else galvanized within this change that we wanna continue within the world. So next, we have Mary Beth Tabanera from the Seven Oaks School in Manitoba, Canada, and Tiffany Casano, sorry. I haven't read anything in a while. I've been on summer vacation, so I don't know how to read yet. I'm gonna learn in the next month or so. Together they're gonna talk about our partnership with Emblaze, as well as the video production and experiences that we have with Emblaze and how Big Picture Land connects with that. So give it up for them, please.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. So I bring greetings all the way from Canada. Just a show of hands, who knows where Winnipeg is? Oh, that's pretty good. Okay, so Winnipeg is actually just an hour north of the North Dakota border. It's located in central Canada. So my name is Maribeth Tabanera, and I am the Learning Through Internship Coordinator at the Seven Oaks Met School and Maples Met School. Yes, we have 2 Met schools, and they're 3 minutes away from each other on the same street, and those are the only ones in Canada. I'm actually brand new to the Big Picture family. I started with them in September, and it's been a fantastic year. So I've gotten to know David Berg, Adam Blaze really well this year. We've been using the platform for 2 years now, and it's been a fantastic tool for us. With us having 2 different schools, it can be kind of challenging because the 2 schools are using the same group of organizations to connect to in terms of reaching out to internships. So my job is to help these students and the teachers make sure that they're connecting to the different organizations. And sometimes we're calling people up every day, and we don't want to crisscross and have double people calling the same people, and so we want to keep it really organized, and Blaze has been a great tool for that. If you could just switch over to the next slide. So there's a little map. It's also been a really great way for us to keep attendance for our students. If you go over to the next slide, we have logged over 14,410 internship hours, which is amazing. We're really, really, really excited, and the kids have just been so great in terms of adopting the platform. There is an app that is connected to the website, so they've been using that to check in and check out of their internships. And then the next few slides that we have are just some shots of our students. We have actually Lauren and Jenny on the center and the right are with us. You can give them a wave in the center. Making prosthetic legs and slicing up DNA and things like that. So yeah, it's been a fantastic year. If you haven't already adopted Blaze, I really would highly suggest it. If you have any questions, you can definitely come find me. The really great thing about it is it's super easy to use, very, very user-friendly, and it's like David has been so amazing in terms of like supporting us. Whenever I have questions, he's always there. So yeah, and that's my story. I hope you guys have a wonderful experience here. So thanks very much.
So hello, I'm Tiffany Casano. I am a school principal from a public school system in Vermont. Me and my small contingency of colleagues here. As I'm sitting here looking out and listening to everybody, I realize we're sort of outliers because we are members of a public school system. I'm here with 7 folks. And importantly, I want to point out that our superintendent of our supervisory union is here, who represents multiple schools within our district. And I think it's pretty powerful that we have somebody at that high of an administrative level who's coming here because they want to learn more about big picture. And it happens to be his birthday. I'd say sing happy birthday, but I'm limited to 2 minutes. So Windsor School is a public pre-K through 12 school. We serve approximately 580 students. This year we graduated our 150th senior class. So if that tells you anything about how founded on tradition we are, let me give you a little idea. We even have in one of our former administrator offices this mural, and it says, "Tradition never graduates." Like, although I appreciate that, I chuckle at it once in a while, because the last 2 years, this group of people and the faculty back home, we've been completely committed to school transformation and disrupting the system, as all of you have been talking about. So you might think, hey, Vermont, yeah, isn't that quaint, small town? But I just want to say Vermont has a lot of the same challenges that the schools across the nation have, too. My school in particular has a 50% poverty rate. It has exceptionally high incidence of trauma, and along with the rest of our state, a higher than desirable dropout rate. So that's why we're here with you, learning, hoping to learn more from Big Picture, and to make a difference and break up the system and the challenges that we've been facing. So knowing the importance of relationships, 2 years ago, Windsor School decided we wanted to implement a morning advisory program. Folks sitting at the table here that experienced that, they could verify that it was an absolute hot mess. So advisory in our school, although it was well-intentioned, completely separate understandings of the purpose, no clear mission, no clear framework. Teachers were doing things differently. Students didn't buy in. After a while, teachers didn't buy in either. So it became pretty evident, pretty quick, we needed some emergency training and advisory. Last year, we came to Big Bang, 2017, where we were introduced to the Learning Big Picture platform, more importantly, Advisory 101. We trained 37 staff using the Learning Big Picture platform and logged in over 123 hours and 6 minutes of training, which was great because it put everybody on the same page. It gave us a framework to work in, and it allowed us to realize the potential of what an advisory program could look like and how, not only focusing on advisory, but how we could embed the big picture, the 10 distinguishers, into our entire school. So where we started small scale, thinking, how can we transform an advisory and make it more meaningful? Eventually, we started to thinking much larger scale, and how can we embed those principles in everything that we do here at Windsor School? How can we create flexible pathways, alternative ways for students to earn credit, to meet their graduation requirements, including internships, job shadows, all of that stuff. So we got a lot of great things going on at our school. And I think a lot of that to Big Picture and to the Learning Big Picture platform. It certainly helped us sort of figure it out. I would say the light bulbs definitely turned on as soon as we were introduced to that platform. And I think that's it.
All right. Unfortunately for me, grateful for you, this is the last time you're gonna see me up here. So I don't know if y'all been noticing, but like in the little middle screen right here, people who have been speaking, their workshops have been like presented and things like that. But if you missed it, technology people, we have a Big Picture app. Oh man, go to the App Store, look up BPL events, and then you get all the list of the amazing, amazing workshops that we have to offer here in the next few hours and days. Also, we have really great discussion portals in there. So like, for example, with your advisory or in general, like there's a discussion portal specifically for like the students or the newcomers to the Big Picture learning community. Just post things, just ask questions, start really great debates, and then continue those debates in person, because I feel like you can have more genuine conversations than through a screen. So, without further ado, finally, I am going to introduce Lavelle Lee, who is a recent graduate of the Fannie Lou Hamer Freedom School in the Bronx. You probably have seen him in our promotional video with Dana, so that's going to be really amazing. But first, I want to acknowledge and have the students who are here please stand up, and recent graduates please stand up. I know some of y'all are back there, so don't be shy. Come on now. The Idaho kids are over there in the corner not trying to stand up. It's cool. I see y'all. People who are new to Big Picture, and even people who are learning within the model, ask those students how they want to learn and how they have learned, because that's exactly how you are going to continually succeed within this model. Because again, student-centered, right? Get it? Oh man, no, nobody's brain exploded? That's okay. It's going to happen sooner or later. So I'm going to have Lavelle come up, and then he's going to be followed by, hold on, let me get the list of people. I told you, I'm not a technology person. So Lavelle Lee is going to come up, and then we're going to also have him followed by Emma Layson from the Muse School and Jada Guzman from the Met Center in Providence. So please give it up for these amazing students, and I'm going to see y'all later.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Lavelle Lee.
My name is Marcel Perez.
My name is Nadeja Polak.
So as mentioned, I am a graduate and the former president at the school, Fannie Lou Hamer Freedom High School in the South Bronx. Thank you. So today, basically, we're up here to talk about student projects and entrepreneurship courses at our school. So being that I said I'm the former president, there was a lot of planning and prepping, and most of the activities that we did on a yearly basis. I decided to run my senior year because it allowed me to get a perspective on how student government started and where it would end up from my 9th grade year to my 12th grade year. And I was able to see that over the course of my 4 years. And being that, I'm gonna give a little shout out to Nasim over there. He was the president for 2 years. Under his council, 10th and 11th grade year, I got to oversee all the activities that we've done inside our school, ranging from our annual Peace Block Party to Diversity Day, emphasizing that we need to put the guns down and come together in our community and uplift each other and, you know, show each other that diversity and community is at the head of all our schools. So being that, you know, I was the president, I had the opportunity to work with these two young ladies, planning and prepping all our events, our parties, and then, you know, we did a lot of things as far as like student stand-ups where we did the walkout, but we didn't necessarily have to walk out this year. We did that and we expressed it within our school and we stayed in the building, but we walked out of class to still emphasize that sense of community to the other students and the things that came out of Parkland this year. So we took a big picture approach and a more safer way of, you know, handling that situation. But that's just one of many things that we've done as far as student government at Fannie Lou. So that's just like the student projects part. Now I'm gonna speak a little bit about the entrepreneurship course. So the BOSS program that we have at Fannie Lou is called the Bronx Startup for Students. And that's exactly what it was. Now, yes, we're here at Big Picture, and we keep emphasizing like the student-centered learning and the students being at the front of the class. And I think this is one of the classrooms where you see that and that it was expressed hands-on. Now, in the video, you can see us working hand and feet on these blankets that you guys will get tomorrow if you attend the drumline screening at the lawn. But there was so much put into this. So much time, so much stress. We didn't think we were gonna get it done, and we had to make 500 for all of you. So it was so much. There were so many different procedures. We even had Jeff working for once, so he was there helping us. But there was so many different things going on. So we had to get the blankets, we had to print out the material, we had to iron it on, we had to fold it, we had to put it in a bag. But still in all, we had so much fun. We're grateful to be here, and we are running a workshop today at 10:30. So if you would like, you could stop by. I'm gonna stop talking and let the ladies talk about their business.
Hi, my name is Nadeja again.
My name is Maciel.
We have a business together. It's called Love por Dentro, and the business basically is surrounded around self-love and how we feel everyone should love themselves. You could talk about how it started.
So it started in the Bronx in our community, and we were in student government when I got the idea of self-love and starting an event. It went from an event onto a product and a business, and now it's just a startup. We thought about it because in the Bronx you hear a lot, not only in the Bronx but everywhere you hear about a lot about self-love and how you should do and how it should be done, but then at the end of the day, you use it and you do it, and social media and all these things backfire at you because you don't fit the MOAs that they said. You don't fit the expectation that they want you to do. So with the necklace, we emphasize self-love, and we talk about how
We talk about basically how you should love yourself, so how everyone should love themselves, and you shouldn't give a helping hand to love each other. You should also give a helping hand to love yourself. So you should help someone else love themselves. So we have 2 necklaces. You probably can't see it, it's really tiny. But one says, "My beauty will never disappear."
and the other one says, "My strength will never falter."
And on the back, it has a thought bubble, and it has like everything you should think about yourself or see yourself. I like it because one of them has my handwriting. So, so basically, we use the necklaces, and we feel like when people should wear them, and then when they look at them when they're down or whatever, and it'll just like uplift their mood or whatever. So yeah, that's our necklace. We sell them for $10. We have a couple here if anybody wants to buy. Yeah.
They bring keychains.
Thank you.
morning, everyone. My name is Emma Layson. I'm 13 years old. I attend Muse School, and I'm going into the 8th grade. It is such an honor and a privilege to be here with all of you extraordinary people and discuss my passion for gardening. I know what some of you are probably thinking, like, gardening, really? But what most of you don't know is that gardening is so much more than what meets the eye. It really is an academic playground. Gardening involves math, science, history, technology, healthy living, your inner creativity, and lots. When I mean lots, I mean lots of hard work. I've been living my passion for the last 5 years, and at one point my garden became my sanctuary and a place for self-expression. I've done over 10 different gardening projects, some more successful than others, but all while building and strengthening my character. But last April, I was able to attend one of the most incredible learning experiences. I was invited along with 10 other Big Picture schools. To be honest, I was a little bit nervous and really didn't know what to expect. We were a diverse group coming in from all different areas, but what transpired over those 2 days was a gift to all of us. We all showed up giving 110%. At some point, we all had the chance to be the role of the teacher and the eager student. Together, we gardened, we harvested vegetables, we discussed current and future projects, we brainstormed and we brainstormed business ideas. Everything from homemade trail mixes, salsas, maple syrup, food trucks, teas, essential oils, seed bombs, healthy living classes, and so much more. That weekend, the most incredible thing happened. We all walked in as different ages, different ethnicities, different genders, and different roles, but quickly became fast friends in a tight community. We were each other's peers and truly believed in each other. I really try to live each day with this quote, "Be the change you wish to see in the world." And I left that weekend so inspired, believing that all of us would create change. Whether it is making a product, starting a business, creating a forum for healthy living, or doing a Seed to Table program. We all left feeling challenged, empowered, invested, and inspired. Thank you. Now here is Jada.
Hello, everybody. Good morning. I'm with Emma. I'm a part of this cross-country collaboration between schools. This collaboration is part of a healthy food initiative that's happening across all schools. So I'm here today to connect with as many people as possible, other schools and students that are interested in being a part of this project. My name is Jada, and I'm a senior at the Met High School, and I'm passionate about healthy eating and lifestyles, specifically for communities like mine, urban communities that don't necessarily have the access or options to these choices. So naturally, being a part of this project just really inspired me to get going. So my piece of this grander project was to introduce a whole food plant-based option on the menu. This is to create more access to the students and families in my community. What really got me going and really got me inspired was when we had our weekend in California, and I got to connect with other students and people who had similar passions and ideas so that we could come together and go beyond our communities and really be leaders for other schools to follow. So being a big picture learning student, being hands-on, and being able to see what our projects are doing and the impact that they're actually having was super important to me. So I would really love to connect with anybody who's interested in being a part of this and really think about the different aspects on how we could grow this project. Thank you.
Hi, I'm honored. I just want to say I'm happy to end with the way basically that Robbie started with liberation, because though it may not seem that like this poem that I'm about to perform is about liberation, it definitely is. And I think while being black or being a minority, the different people think of liberation as like, oh, free of oppression and discrimination, but to me, like you're about to hear, it's about joy and being able to be joy not conceding, basically, having to be joyful and not have to worry about everything else, despite the circumstances of what's going on in our current climate or whatever. So, yeah. I pledge allegiance to my black ass family and our thick ass hair, to the drug dealer my daddy used to be, to the dollar bills my mama got thrown up at her and the mother she was running away from. I pledge allegiance to the cancer my grandpa has, yet denies, don't trust no white folks, no medicine, he tells me. I pledge allegiance to the cancer my grandma has, and B, to her cooking. Those collard greens and candy yams on Thanksgiving is the only thing that keeps this family together. Oldies playing while she cuts the onions, beads of sweat drip off her lip, into the food. I eat it anyways. I call this love. My grandma does too. I pledge allegiance to the day where the streets are no longer unsafe, where happiness is no longer a privilege. No more prayers for my cousin because I know he's safe. No more get behind me, Nani. He tells me to walk with faith and God will walk with us. I call this love. He calls this survival. I pledge allegiance to all my homies, to my black ass friends who taught my no rhythm having ass how to dance, taught me how to sway my hips to the beat of the music, close my eyes and let my body guide me. For the soul of my dance, just feel the soul of my dance, just to open them and see the different type of blackness, the different type of family that being black gives you. I pledge allegiance to the basement parties, to the jungle juice, to the dancing in the middle of the street when the cops shut the party down. I call this love. They call this freedom. And I think I understand. I pledge allegiance to a flag that does not stand for all, where the red stands for the blood of my people who were forgotten, the blue for the middle passage, and the white for the white skin of oppressors. I pledge allegiance to a nation that one day will be united with enough liberty and justice for me and all my homies.